Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. The body of late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will lie repose at the High Court tomorrow and Thursday as the nation continues to mourn her death. A makeshift memorial has been set up outside the court as Americans remember her. Appointed by President Bill Clinton, Ginsburg served on the High Court for 27 years. She is best known for the opinion she wrote in U.S. versus Virginia that found it unconstitutional to ban women applicants to the Virginia Military Institute. College student Maeve Drury was among the mourners this morning. She says Ginsburg was her inspiration.
She's the reason I'm in political science now, trying to make a difference in the world and for the rights of people all around the country who are being threatened right now.
The second woman to serve on High Court, Ginsburg passed away at the age of 87 Friday night. Members of Prince George's County Council were briefed by the county's Board of Elections regarding preparations for the November elections. Administrator Alicia Alexander says it's a massive undertaking, but she says they will be ready. She says voters should have received a ballot application in the mail, and so far, she says more than 208,000 have been sent in. The application must be in the elections office by October 20th in order to be processed. This year will be a combination of mail-in and in-person voting. Residents can use one of 42 drop boxes that will be set up around the county. Elections officials are urging those who plan to vote by mail to get the application in ASAP. Ballots will be mailed out during the last week of September. The deadline to complete the 2020 census is just 8 days away. Residents can fill out the survey by phone, mail, or online. Remember, the census will determine how much federal funding your community will receive. Meantime, Governor Larry Hogan has released a PSA encouraging all Marylanders to get counted.
With your help, our state is currently in the top 10 for census response, and we have now surpassed our 2010 self-response rate. But there's still more work to be done. Every single response is necessary to secure funding for healthcare, schools, hospitals, roads, and other essential services. Participating in the census is easy and it's safe.
For more information, visit 2020census.gov. The U.S. COVID-19 death toll has passed 200,000. That's the highest number globally. Worldwide, COVID-19 deaths are approaching 1 million. Meantime, in Maryland, 344 new cases and 9 deaths were reported this morning. The state health department is conducting COVID-19 serology testing on firefighters. They're looking for antibodies linked to COVID-19 infections. Since September 15th, Frederick County and Annapolis have submitted more than 650 blood serum samples. The testing program is currently underway in 7 jurisdictions across the state, including Prince George's. 2 more Smithsonian museums are set to reopen this Friday: the National Museum of American History and the National Museum of American Indian. Both have been closed for months due to the pandemic. As you might expect, there will be some changes in terms of safety protocols due to COVID-19, but the doors are set to open Friday at 11 a.m.
I would say the major difference is that we, of course, will be enforcing our health and safety protocols, which include maintaining a safe social distance. We will be requiring visitors to be wearing a face covering, and then we will also be encouraging the washing of hands and sanitizing, in which we will definitely have hand sanitizers throughout our whole building at NMAI. We will also have a timed entry pass system in place, which is very new to us at NMAI specific. All exhibitions will be open, but we have a majority of them that people have really come to love, whether they be new or have been here before. So I think people will enjoy that.
For more information on how to get your timed pass, go to si.edu and click the link to the museum you want to go to. Well, it's that time of year when local utilities submit their annual budgets to the state for approval. Delegate Al Carr says WSSC is looking at upgrading to smart meters at a cost of $100 million. PEPCO is also looking to upgrade street lighting.
Every 2 years or every 3 years is they will make a rate filing with the Maryland Public Service Commission, and they'll have to disclose all the spending they've done on poles and wires and they typically ask for a rate increase. So it's time for them to do that again. We're expecting for them to do a rate filing, rate increase around the end of September. Something that's also included in that is street lighting. PEPCO does street lighting in Montgomery and Prince George's County, and they want to propose upgrading all the streetlights to energy efficient LEDs. They're a little behind some of the other utilities, and that's what they're going to do.
There is currently a moratorium on utility shutoffs and late fees due to the pandemic. Maryland also offers an income-based energy assistance program for those in need. For more information, go to dhs.maryland.gov. The American Civil Liberties Union says the package of police reform bills being debated by the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee this week don't go far enough. The ACLU says the bills announced by Committee Chair Will Smith of Montgomery County don't represent the collective thinking of advocates who have been engaged in the work for many years. The ACLU says there are 5 necessary reforms that must happen to get their support, including the repeal of the Police Officers' Bill of Rights and the establishment of a statewide standard for police use of force. The hearings will continue this week. Police are investigating the fatal shooting of a woman inside her Chilham home yesterday afternoon. The incident happened about 2:35 p.m. in the 2600 block of Queens Chapel Road at the Kings Plaza Apartments. The victim has been identified as 25-year-old Fatima Chimera. If you have any information about the case, you're asked to call police. Police have identified the man who was fatally shot in Laurel yesterday morning. He's 34-year-old Alexander Ross II. A Laurel resident, Ross was found suffering from gunshot wounds outside a 7-Eleven store at the 12,000 block of Laurel Bowie Road. He died later at a local hospital. Detectives do not believe this was a random incident. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to an arrest and indictment in this case. A registered sex offender who once lived in Laurel is sentenced to 4 years in prison in Virginia for possession of child porn. 43-year-old Damon Murphy of Richmond was found guilty on 4 counts of possessing child pornography. Murphy was a registered sex offender in Maryland with a previous federal conviction. Virginia's Attorney General says Murphy posed as an adolescent to lure other online predators for his own sexually deviant purposes. If you own a Greenbelt business that's struggling to stay afloat, listen up. The city is providing grants up to $10,000 to companies hit hard by the pandemic under its Greenbelt Business Improvement and Recovery Fund. You have until October 16th to apply. The funds can be used to help cover the cost of rent, utilities, and payroll.
Greenbelt City Council and Greenbelt leadership really feels that this pandemic has obviously been unprecedented, and so many businesses have been significantly impacted, and we really just want to make sure that we're doing our part to support our local businesses and continuing to keep their doors open.
The city plans to distribute about 30 grants. To apply, visit greenbeltmd.gov. Maryland's Attorney General is warning residents about a scam targeting homeowners. Brian Frosch says scammers are calling homeowners offering mortgage loan modifications. Frosch says they're asking for personal information, including Social Security numbers. A request for personal information is a warning sign of a scam. If you suspect that you're a victim, contact Identity Theft Unit at 410-576-6491. It's the last day for seniors and residents with disabilities in District 3 to reserve free meals with the county's Department of Family Services. The agency is teaming up with Councilmember Danielle Glaros to distribute more than 500 frozen meals. You can pick up the meals on September 30th from 9:30 to 11 a.m. at the new Carrollton Municipal Center. Home delivery is also available. Participants must pre-register. For more information, visit bit.ly/D3meals or call 301-952-3060. And that wraps up our CTV News update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Have a good night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, what's your name? How old are you? My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy, organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life. But to me, I have everything right there next to me in my son.
Here are your AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. First, form a caregiving team. Create a list of people in your family and friend network who can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of supplies in your loved one's home. Try to have a 2-week supply of essential items. Make a list of the care recipient's medications and medical contacts. Be sure to have prescriptions on hand and ask the pharmacist for an extra 30-day supply. Make a plan to stay connected. To prevent social isolation, set up available technology to help loved ones stay connected and schedule regular chats. Finally, maintain your own self-care. follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. And have a backup plan for care in case you become ill. For more caregiving tips during the coronavirus pandemic, go to aarp.org/caregiving.